Hey, everybody, jump on in when you get here, if you get here. Don't mind me for a minute. I'm adjusting my settings here and my lighting. Let me do something about that. All right, I'm all set. Let's see if anybody jumps on at all. It's New Year's Eve, 7:30 p.m., 2023 for now. Decided last minute to do a live stream to say hi to people and wish them off or wish you a wonderful end to your 2023. And see what you guys are up to. If you guys are out partying or laying low, taking it easy like me, probably going to stay in tonight and watch a movie or two or three. Maybe watch some YouTube. I've been watching a lot of stuff on overlanding or overland build stuff for vehicles. If any of you guys know what that is, like I'm wanting to build my truck out eventually for camping and stuff like that to kind of incorporate that into my videos, which is actually I was going to talk more about that on this blog. Kind of my plan for 2024, kind of first on the list. And been watching a lot of videos on that, learning a lot of stuff with that overlanding. Overland basically means that like if you have a vehicle like a truck, you can kind of build it out for camping. A lot of companies out there are building these tents, like these hard shell, and some are soft shell tents that you can mount on a rack on top of your vehicle. And that's not the only thing that makes it an overlander, but it's a big part of it, into camping and stuff. Not so much off-roading, but like camping, wilderness type stuff, So I'm wanting to incorporate that into my videos since I'm trying to do more traveling. I even thought about doing a Sprinter van thing, which I might still do in the future. I don't know, maybe. But I figure for now, because I still need a truck, might as well just keep my truck for my photo booth equipment and all that. So I figured if I have to do that anyway and use my truck, I'll just use my truck to do the camping with. So I'm looking at trying to get a tent, like a bed rack or a roof rack, put a tent on top of my truck. And when I go visit these places for my vlogs, I can go a little further out and not have to worry about paying money for hotels and stuff like that. I can stay overnight and just make it a camping thing, and I can add that into my vlogs, which I'm sure you guys would think is a lot more interesting, or it would be interesting. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you'll just have to wait and see them and see if you think they're interesting. There's like my Christmas tree back there. That's my Christmas tree this year. It's the tree that's in my living room all the time. You don't usually see it in my vlogs because it's like right here next to the laptop, my counter. But I didn't feel like spending the money on a Christmas tree this year. It's kind of a tight year for me. So I decided to decorate that one. It kind of worked out. Went to the Dollar Tree and got some decorations. That bow you see at the top, I got that all at the Dollar Tree. It's for a few dollars. Been watching a lot of cool stuff, like video stuff in the vehicles, not video stuff, the vehicle stuff. Been watching a lot of like how to and things like that for the build outs and how to build up your vehicle and do these things and put things on it to equip it with what it needs. And man, I'm getting on such a tangent with that stuff. I really just want to put bigger tires in my truck and build it out and all this stuff and all these all these new features and all that stuff. I'd have to remind myself that that stuff is expensive. But overtime, I'll do it overtime. I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels, which is Jordan the Lion, Days with Jordan the Lion, and he did a live stream just now, about an hour ago. It kind of inspired me. I was like, I haven't done a live stream in a while. I'll try to do one. My goal is to do one like once a month, and I figured New Year's Eve, I'd either catch a bunch of you or none of you, like either a ton of people who are just hanging out and laying low on New Year's Eve like me, or laying low for now and then they go party in a couple hours closer to midnight type of thing, or it'd be nobody. I knew it'd be either like a good bit of people or nobody. So might just be me tonight. Might be talking to myself tonight. Who knows? But I'm not really doing anything tonight. I'm going to lay low. For years and years, I've been doing my photo booth business for 10 years. This makes the 10-year mark. This marks the 10-year mark. Started in late 2013. So almost every year, we always had New Year's Eve events, whether they were like New Year's Eve events, like, the countdown celebrating New Year's Eve, or I've had different types of balls on New Year's Eve. I've had a wedding or two on New Year's Eve over the years. So I've always booked. I've always had events to work on New Year's Eve for my photo booth. So between that or being on call for my full-time job, I've hardly ever had a night to like, it's been years, probably 10 years since I've had an evening or a New Year's Eve evening where I was free and I could hang out with friends and family. So although it makes total sense that, I finally have a year off, but I don't have to work or be on call or anything. I would just be craving hanging out and going out and enjoying myself with friends and family, which I do. And I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm going to my uncle's house tomorrow for my dad's side of the family. And it's going to be good to see all of them. It's been a while since we all got together that I've got to see them. So I'm looking forward to that. But as for me and just my sanity, I was like, man, I don't have anything to do. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to stay home. Like, I have really no desire to get out and go out, and so I'm just going to stay home. You find some good movies to watch or something, just relax, play it by ear. I'm going to wake up in the morning and I got to make sweet potato casserole. If you guys know what that is, it's kind of like the sweet potatoes with the pecans and all that stuff on top of it. It's excellent. We make it every year. So I'm bringing that to my family gathering tomorrow to kind of pitch in. So I'm going to wake up at a decent time in the morning and make that, which doesn't take long to make. It's like a 35-minute process. So that's what I got planned for tonight and tomorrow. And I still got Tuesday off after that. So I still have the next 2 days off to just relax. So it's nice. It's nice being a state worker. I'm still talking to myself, though. Let's see if anybody jumps on. I'll give it a few more minutes, maybe 15 minutes at the most. If nobody jumps on, then I'll just close it out. I'm sure you guys are doing stuff. I'm sure, it's kind of later in the evening, mid-evening time frame on New Year's Eve. So I'm not really expecting, like I said, I thought it'd be a bunch of people, maybe, or none at all. I didn't think it'd be in between. I didn't think it'd be like 2 or 3 people. I figured it'd be like 15 people or nothing. But I'll just ramble and talk anyway, so you guys can know what I'm up to. As the channel grows, and maybe one day when I get 100,000, 300,000 subscribers in, those live streams will pull in a lot of people. Like, I was watching Jordan's, and I think he got up to about 5, 6, 7, 800 people. It was around 500 when I got on. I think he got up to around 6, 7, 800, something like that, if I remember correctly, towards the end of the live stream. But those guys, I mean, those channels are just big. They're way bigger than me as of now. So we'll see how that goes and how it grows and grows. But that's how I'm trying to build the channel up. That's why I'm trying to incorporate things into the channel, like building my vehicle up. It sounds kind of silly, and you might think, like, what does that have to do with anything? But it's all part of the process. Right now I kind of stay regionally and locally because I don't have all this money to go and stay in hotels and go far out and go far away and, out of state and all that, because it's just expensive. Most of the expense for that is the hotels. these days you can't get a hotel room that's not in, that's, you can't find something that's not in the ghetto for less than 175, 150 if you're lucky, you know. So I figure I kind of build my truck out and get it ready to go, or yeah, just kind of ready to go at all times. So I say, okay, I want to drive 6, 7 hours away out of state somewhere or something, and go stay on the lake somewhere, and go take a look at this famous museum or hotel or plantation or whatever, whatever stuff you guys, you see my channel, and go see places like that. And I can incorporate into the video, be like, hey, I'm also camping out. So after we go visit this famous grave or whatever we're going to look at, we're going to go check out this campground or this place where we can camp out by the water or whatever, and or up in the mountains or something like that. And I'll incorporate the camping out, kind of popping up the tent in the truck and all that stuff, and camping out, and what I'm doing there, kind of show you guys around. It'd be just a whole entire added aspect of my channel, into my videos. And I think it'll open up the audience to people who are more interested in seeing things like that. Because right now it's just like I can stick. I love my channel, I love what I do, and I'm not doing it for a certain amount of subscribers, anything like that. I'm not saying that, and but I do, the channel to grow. And this is actually what I had in mind all along from day one, before day one. So I just didn't know how I was going to go about it. Like I said, I explored I thought about getting like a Sprinter van or like an RV or something like that, and just, basically living it up in that, doing whatever. But that's the way things line. I can't just live in a Sprinter van full time. I can't do all that. I have kids and stuff like that. So I'm not really trying to do all that. But with having the channel and loving the channel and loving what I do with this, I want to I want to scale it and grow it, and evolve into what I always wanted it to be to begin with. And so I'm starting to, as with anything, you kind of have an initial vision of it, and then you kind of you just kind of jump in. It's like having a business. You kind of just jump in, you start doing it, and then as you go along, your vision kind of evolves, and it sort of you start finding your voice, so to say, you know. And I mean, after a year and a half, well, if you count the years that I've been envisioning doing this channel, it's been about, you know, almost, take 2.5, 3 years almost now. I've been doing it for a year and a half now, but my vision was to always just have this peaceful channel where we go in to see things, and, I present the videos the way I do. You see my face in the intro and the outro, and that's about pretty much it, and then everything in between is just the subject matter. And then I always planned on doing kind of like peaceful, serene things, like going camping and seeing more of the wilderness and seeing more landscape and stuff like that. Because you don't get to do too much of that now, just because you do, but it's kind of the same thing all the time, because I've kind of been confined to the South Louisiana area, which luckily there's a lot of things to vlog here. But my whole vision was to be all over the country, and grow it to where, as the channel grows and I make, hopefully more and more money from it, I can use that to travel more and grow the channel and all that. So it's kind of just, my vision's kind of fine tuning. It's fermenting, I guess. It's like it's coming together into this, these loose ideas, and it comes closer and closer to this nucleus kind of thing, and it's starting to take hold, and I'm starting to get a more solidified, fortified idea of like, okay, well, it's all coming together. This is what I'm doing. This is what I plan on doing. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be fun. I think it'll open up, it'll welcome more for you guys who are already enjoying my channel and subscribe to my channel. I think that you'll start seeing a broader audience to my channel, which is awesome. I welcome that, and so, but it'll be fitting though, because it's all part of my adventures and visiting places and vlogging these places and all these cool things like that. So it goes along, it's all part of traveling and experiencing cultures and landscapes and all that stuff. So I'm excited about it. We shall see. Let's see here. Going on 15 minutes. So I might talk for a few more minutes. I don't know. I'll see if anybody jumps on. Nobody's jumped on yet. Hope you guys are having a wonderful New Year's. I'm sure most of you will watch this after the fact. Um, so by the time you watch this, I hope that you either are having a great New Year's, or if you don't see it for the next couple of days, I hope you had a great New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That you stay safe and you feel good. You eat your black eyed peas and your cabbage. It's funny because when our family, we're all on an email thread, like a group. So they sent an email out to everybody, saying, "Hey, anybody, my uncle is hosting New Year's Day tomorrow. So if you want to come, just respond and say, hey, I'll be there, so we can get a head count and all that. And if you want to bring something, then let us know what you're bringing." So I couldn't think, everybody, the first few people they cover all the big things, the main staples of like New Year's food or whatever, and so I was talking to my sister. I was at her house. I was like, man, I don't know. It's like everybody covered. Everything's covered, It's like shopping for people who already have everything. It's like, what do you get them? Like all the food's covered. Like, what do I bring? I don't want to just bring like a pack of cookies because that's. So I was like, and I was like, oh man, I'll just make sweet potato casserole. And then so I replied to the group thread. I was like, I'll bring that if nobody else has claimed it yet. And so like today, which is 4 days, 3-4 days after the fact, it dawned on me today. I was like, oh crap. I was like, sweet potato casserole, like that's like New Year. That's like Christmas and Thanksgiving. I was like, I don't even know if that's a thing for New Year's. But it's one of those things that are always good. I mean, you can bring it to Halloween or Easter and it's good, So I text my aunt. My aunt always made it for the family. Like she's like the one who always made the sweet potato casserole. And so I text her. I was like, it dawned on me, it might not be a New Year's thing. I was like, you think that'd be fitting? And she replied, she's like, oh yeah, that's perfect. She's like, thank you so much. That's perfect. I was like, all right, I'm sticking with it. So I went to the store just now. I went to Target. My nose is itching, sorry. Went to Target and bought some the ingredients for it. Luckily, it's not an expensive thing to make. I think I spent maybe $8, $9, $10 total on everything. Like crushed pecans, and I needed to get some more eggs, evaporated milk. We can use regular milk. And what else did I buy? I'm looking at the stack of. Oh, I had to buy the sweet potatoes. I just got them in a can. Bruce's makes a good one, a really good canned sweet potato, like cubed. They're pretty good. I've always used that. You do just fine. Nobody's gonna tell the difference. Going on 18 minutes. 18 minutes. I don't have much else to talk about right now. I mean, I could talk about a bunch of stuff. Trying to think. Whack it up, you guys. Update you guys on. Yeah. I think there's one or two people on. Keeps toggling back from 1 to 2. Maybe somebody's watching. I like doing these live streams, even though I don't have a big following yet. They're fun to do. I think I had 1,228 subscribers right now, which is great. But you look at the channels who do live streams that have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Their comment feed is just like just nonstop. It's like the ending credits on a movie. Just keeps scrolling. I think at the most, I think the first couple of live streams I ever did, I think I had like 12 to 15 at one time, and that was exciting for me. So I'm trying to grow the channel to get to that point. It's fun. Still loving it. Still enjoying it. Man, this time of year though, man, Christmas season, like busy season for my photo booth and all that, I get so burnt out. It's like I mean, just to do one vlog a week is like, all right, I got to make time for it. Sometimes I just don't even think about it because I'm so busy doing my job and then doing photo booth events and all that. And a couple times this month, I'm like, man, I need to do a vlog. Like, I almost forget about it because I'm just so preoccupied. You know, McDonald's Coke. Yeah, I told you guys about my theory that came true about the McDonald's Coke, McDonald's and their relationship with Coca-Cola. It was my theory for years, and then it ended up being true. Dang, I wish somebody was on here to tell me what the audio sounded like because I usually do that in the beginning. I was already going on 22 minutes almost, so I said I'd do about 15. So I hope you guys are having a great New Year's Eve, or that you had a great New Year's Eve by the time you see this. Um, feel free, please reach out. Trying to grow the channel, trying to grow the audience, and appeal to a bigger audience and more people, and things that people want to see, do things that people want to see and enjoy. So if there's any aspect of the channel that you would like to see, I got hiccups now, always happens. Or if there's something about the existing channel or video, excuse me, I'm so sorry about that. That you would like to see, or that you would like to see more or less, feel free to let me know. I really take this stuff seriously and I want to grow it. And I always want it to be, you know, doing what I want to do and do it the way I want to do it. But I want to provide feedback or provide a product that the people that put their time and energy towards following me and supporting me, I want them to be, I want to make it to where it's stuff that they enjoy and stuff that they enjoy seeing and experiencing. So if there's anything at all that I could do for you guys, or, provide for you guys or show you, or, if the tempo of my videos are too slow or too fast or too confused or what, anything, just, let me know. I do want to have a big YouTube channel. I do want to have a ton of followers and a big community. I'm appealing to hundreds of thousands of people and all that stuff because I do want to grow. All the vision I have for this channel and the things I want to do and the way I want to do it comes with growing the page. Growing the audience and the following. So it all helps tremendously. And I do want to do some meetups too. So and I got the idea from Jordan the Lion when I was watching his vlog, just his stream just now. I actually asked him, I was like, hey, you have any plans for meetups anytime soon? And he's like, oh man. He actually replied to my comment. He said, oh man, he said, I can't do meetups anymore just through YouTube. He said, I do it through a Patreon because, more like a security gate because people kind of abuse it. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So because he said that, it put a thought in my mind. It's a great idea, and it's safer and all that. So for those of you who would like to subscribe to my Patreon, or be a part of that, then I'll tell you guys. Those of you who go, become a part of my Patreon, I'll send updates through there about meetups and places I want to travel and stuff like that. And we could meet up and you could meet me and we could hang out and do a vlog together or whatever, or just not do a vlog and just hang out. So shout out to Jordan for that idea. That's a great idea. You never be too safe these days. What time is it? Well, guys, going on 25 minutes, and I'm sure you guys are busy and having a wonderful time with your family and friends. I wish you guys a wonderful night. Stay safe. Definitely crazy drunk drivers out there and all that stuff. So feel free to leave your feedback and all that. Hey LV, happy New Year to do. Happy New Year to you too. Losing my mind here. Happy New Year to you too. I was just about to sign off. I was about to say nobody's getting on, but I think everybody's just out and about having a great time. So I don't know if you're the one that's been watching or not, but I hope you enjoyed it. Just babbling, just me kind of want to show my face and all that. But as usual, stay tuned, stay cool, and all that. And if you have any ideas for vlogs, let me know, especially if they're in the South, somewhere I could go regionally, somewhat close, and all that. So, oh, you're watching on your TV? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I guess on TV, yeah, you couldn't check. You can't type anything. Well, I have planned nothing. I'm just relaxing tonight. I don't know if you watched the whole vlog, but I typically from my photo booth business, I'm booked every New Year's Eve, like every year. It's just the way it goes. 10 years strong now. I've been doing the photo booth business, and usually it's either a New Year's Eve event, like it's an event that's centered around New Year's, like a countdown type of thing, or like I said, weddings. We've had balls like Cinderella ball. What was it, like these sorority balls we've done up in Shreveport multiple years in a row. So for the first time this year, I found that I had nothing planned for New Year's Eve, and I just did it. It's like you're not used to having a day off kind of thing at work. You just don't know what to do with yourself. So it dawned on me, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to just hang out. And I thought about it, and I was like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to celebrate the 1 year I don't have to work or anything. I'd rather just kind of relax and just enjoy the quiet time at home. I don't know. I might go have a drink with a friend or something nearby. I don't know. I don't know. I got a few hours left to decide all that, but you know, the majority of me wants to just stay home and relax. So, what about you guys? What are you going? Where are you from, and what are you doing tonight? I've already had a few friends reach out. A couple friends text me earlier and asked what I'm doing, and my sister invited me to go hang out with them tonight. I was like, I don't know. Like, I really just don't have the desire. Like, I just want to just relax. I've been like that lately. I think it's a burnout. This time of year just burns me out. Alabama, sweet. I go to Mobile. Well, I got multiple parts of Alabama from a photo booth business. I've uh, I've done quite a few events. I've built a relationship with a guy out there in Mobile. He hires us to do to work his birthday party and also his son's homecoming. We've done a few events for him in Mobile, and also in Butler. If you know where Butler is, kind of like northwestish of about 2 hours northwest, right close to the Mississippi line, like northwestish of Mobile. I've done high school's prom 2 years in a row. Hopefully they'll book us again this coming year. I'm sure they will. Yeah, I feel you. I'm the same way. I don't like to drink anymore either. After college, I mean, I had a typical high school career, like partying and stuff in high school, and then I went straight to the Marine Corps for 8 years. And Marines party hard, party and work harder than anybody out there, So we would work hard, play hard. Then I went to college right after that for 4.5 years, so that continued. So after I graduated college, I was 31 years old. I was done. I was like, I'm just done with the party and drinking stuff. I got it out of my system. I still love to have a good time. I'm definitely an outgoing person. Obviously, I wouldn't have a YouTube travel channel if I didn't like to be outgoing and do stuff. But like tonight, I'm just burnt out from this month and busy season. I'll most likely end up just hanging out at home, maybe just staying on my couch watching TV. Eufaula. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. Alabama Georgia border. Oh, okay, so you're out, yeah, a little bit further out. You grew up in Hammond? SLU, yeah. One of the new guy at my office for my full time job, he went to Southeastern. The new guy, he's from North Baton Rouge, like north of Baton Rouge, up by kind of I forgot the name of the exact town or where he's at, or where he's from up there, but it's around Clinton, kind of area where I did the Ellie Mae blog, the Ellie Mae grave blog. Donna Douglas, she's buried up near Clinton, Moss Bluff or Bluff Creek, Bluff Creek. That's my highest grossing. That's my most viewed YouTube video on my channel by far. It's got like 50, almost 51,000 views. You do more celebrity grave videos, apparently. Oh, sweet. Well, thanks for your service, man. Or ma'am. I can't tell if you're a guy or girl, but that's awesome. So you did 20 years. So I guess you did at least 20. Did you do more than that, or did you get out right at 20? You're a guy? Okay. 22 years? Wow. All of my peers, I joined in 99. So 2019 would have been 20 years for me. So all of my peers, a lot of my peers who stayed in and made a career, they've all been getting out and retiring the last couple of years. So it bugs me. It's like, man, it could have been me. Be getting that pension right now. What did you get out as? Oh, you're an officer, enlisted? Were you like a sergeant major or something like that, or were you officer side? Special Forces? Is that what that is? SFC? Not too keen on the Army rank. It's so much different than the Marine Corps. The first few ranks are pretty similar, then it kind of breaks off. Sergeant first class. Oh, okay. So that's like a E6, right? E7. Oh, okay. Like I said, I never was too keen on the Army's rank. Even the Navy. I served with the Navy a lot. I worked up with the Navy a lot, and even their rank system, I was always kind of 50-50 on. That's awesome. Thanks again for your service, man. That's awesome. Where did you spend it? Did you have like a homestead? Did you spend most of your career in a certain area or base or something, or were you all over the place all the time? Like, were you constantly on the move? Never meant to make it a career. Yeah, I never meant to The only reason I re-enlisted when I did after 4 years is because I got married, and I was kind of like not scared to death, but I was like, well, I don't want to get, I have this new wife and this new person I have to support and take care of. And I was like, the last thing I want to do is get married and get out of the Marine Corps, because it's like right at that time. In fact, last month would have been my 20-year anniversary. We're only married a few years, but I got married in November 2003, and I re-enlisted like a month later. Or no, I got sergeant a month later and re-enlisted at that same, like all within a couple months. I was like, well, because if not, I would have been newly married and getting out and starting a whole new life, and it was scary. So I was like, I'll just stay in, a few more years, 4 more years. Yeah, it's not a surprise that you were homesteaded later in your career. Usually, that's what a lot of my buddies did who stayed in long term or 20 years or more. They'd spend, the last, some of them like the last decade of their career. They kind of made a homestead in certain places. One of them was in Okinawa. I was like halfway through my career when I was stationed in Okinawa for a year, and there was a staff sergeant there. He'd been there for like 11 years at the time. Yeah. Stayed in for the security of your family. It's a great, it was smart. I turned 23 a few days after I got married, or before I got married. So I was a young kid. I was 23. She was young. So I was like, the last thing I need to do right now is get married, get out of the Marine Corps, I would have gotten out like less than a year later. Starting a whole new life. Who knows where we would have lived or moved or all that. It's just too, I didn't have life figured out by that time. I was a kid. Yeah, real estate. Yeah, that's okay. So so I was saying, this is back in 03, 04. The market was incredible back then, especially I was in Yuma, Arizona. And that was the third fastest growing city in the United States at the time. And I really was. And so a bunch of my buddies were just buying and selling houses like crazy. They'd buy a house for nothing. Of course, being the security of being in the military, you got approved for loans like nothing. It was easy. They were buying houses, going overseas. Get their other duty station for a few years. They just rent the house out or just whatever, or they just hold on to the house, and they were selling it 3 4 years later for double triple. It was crazy. That's what I was planning on doing when I was married at the time. Ended up getting divorced and all that went out the window. I was distracted. I ended up getting out of the Marines, but that was my um, that was a plan for me to do at that time. My plan was I was going to try to buy a house every 2 to 3 years and just buy it, sell it. Yeah, that's smart. Trying to buy a house right now, just market's crazy. Hopefully 2024, fingers crossed. Airbnbs are awesome. I would love to do that. I would love, love, love. If you want to coach me, then message me, like contact me, send me an email. It's matthenrymedia@gmail.com. MATTHENRY media@gmail.com. If you want to coach me, feel free. I would love to get into that business, especially down here in South Louisiana. Man, there's so much culture here. People love coming here for festivals and stuff. Falling apart. I did hear about that. Well, there's something about recently I heard that um, they're cracking down on them or something like that, or they're not able to do them in certain areas or within certain functions or parameters or something like that. Recently, I heard just a few weeks ago. I heard that they're like the Airbnbs, the market, I don't know, the federal government or something like that is cracking down on some aspect of it. So I'm not surprised to hear you say that. I did hear something about that. But I'd love to get into that. I would love to flip houses, buy a house, fix it up, rent it out, you know, flip it. My dad was telling me the other day I should get into real estate. But I've been thinking about that for years. I was trying to get into commercial real estate back in like in my 20s, again when I was married. Um, Now's a bad time, yeah. Real estate in general. Cost to renovate is still high. Is that just because of the materials? I'm assuming everything's still expensive, or is it more the labor? The both. It's like a perfect storm. I When I moved into this apartment after things didn't work out with my kid's mom and all that, January of this next month. January makes 3 years I've been in this apartment. When I first moved in, I was like, oh, I'll just be here for like a year, maybe 1 year. Get in another because I had a house with her, and I was like, oh, I'll get in a house. I get my own house, and then to market and all my real estate buddies who are realtors and mortgage lenders are all like, don't do it. Even though they would have loved to take my money, they were just like, don't do it. As a friend, like it's not a good market. It's not a good time. Plus, I've been paying. I need to pay my debt to income ratio down big time. So I've been saving a lot, and I've been paying down on debt very aggressively to get that number lower, so I can get approved for a better amount. Yeah, to say the least, it's very hard to find people to work. I'm lucky because for my photo booth business, it's a very appealing and fun thing to do for a few hours at a time. You're not flipping burgers or anything like that. You're not working in a warehouse. You're just kind of working a photo booth with free food and free drinks and atmosphere. But I can imagine if I had any kind of other business like a restaurant or something like that, or any kind of labor. I hear the nightmares from friends of mine who do own businesses, who do own those businesses, and they're having a hard time. I was talking to somebody. It was last night. I was at my sister's house. We're all talking, and one of our friends, our mutual friends, their daughter works at Chick-fil-A here in town. There's four. I think there's four Chick-fil-A's here in town, and one of them is in the mall. But the newest one, they just keep hiring people. Like there's no limit. They just if you apply, and I guess you're good to go or squared away. Like they hire you. So some of the employees who've been there a long time are complaining because they just they keep hiring people and there's a ton of people. Sometimes they're overstaffed, so they'll send people home. But on the flip side of that, I think the reasoning behind that is because kids don't want to work these days. They don't want to show up one day. They just don't show up and they quit. The work ethic isn't the same as it used to be. So I see both sides of it. Plus, Chick-fil-A starts at like $11 an hour, which is it's crazy. That's a lot of money for a young kid with no bills, especially. Oh, really? Yeah, a bunch of foreclosures and people in trouble selling. Yeah, that's scary. It's scary for them. I feel bad for people that, because I always imagine, like, I know what it's like to struggle financially and be in tough financial times and to lose your house. And man, that's rough. I always had a soft spot for the people that are in those situations. That's tough. But on the flip side, for an investor or a buyer, I mean, buying a foreclosed home, it's like a dream come true if you can find a place that's, for the most part, decent, taken care of. It's pretty good. I always wanted to buy a foreclosed home. Going back to the Marine Corps, I had an officer that I worked for. He did that. He bought foreclosed homes and flipped them. He'd flip them in no time because he'd buy ones that don't need a ton of work. He just did basic stuff. He'd paint them, freshen them up, and he'd sell them for huge profits. Hey, Dad. Happy New Year. Semper Fi and God bless. That's what we're talking about military stuff right now. If you've been watching that, I don't know if you have or not. I decided to do a live stream last minute. What are you guys doing tonight, Dad? Just hanging out, laying low. Yeah, wait, rent it out. Yeah, a good buddy of mine, actually my business partner, he's doing that. He has two. I think he still has two condos. He might be working on buying a second one, or he already did buy two. I can't remember, but he put a lot of work into him, and he rented one. He had, like, of course, as fate would have it, the first tenants he had were terrible. He had to kick one out, and then he's kind of doing what I had in mind to do years ago. Is he's trying to buy one, like a condo a year, or every year or two, he's trying to buy another one, stack them up. Have like 6 or 7 of them, and have tenants. Rent them out. Yeah, Dad, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I was talking about that earlier in the live stream. I gotta make my sweet potato casserole in the morning to bring with me. I text Aunt Gilda. I texted Aunt Gilda today and asked her if that was even a New Year's dish, and she said, "Yeah, it should be perfect." So I was like, "All right, I'm sticking with it." Yeah, you too, LB. It's nice meeting you. Y'all take care out there in Alabama, and I hope the weather's decent for you. It's kind of mild tonight, but feel free to jump on. Looking forward to seeing you on future live streams, and feel free to comment on the videos if you're watching and enjoying the channel. Always like to hear from you guys. Always respond to everybody. So uh, feel free to spread the word and all that. I'm trying to grow the channel as much as I can. So you guys have a wonderful New Year's. And God bless. And have a wonderful 2024 also. And same to you, Dad. I guess I'll go ahead and hang up now. It's 45 minutes. So to both of you, you both have a great New Year's Eve and a great New Year's. And I'll see you tomorrow, Dad. And everybody else, you guys take it easy. For those of you who are watching this after the fact, I'll wish you all the same and wish you the best. And go ahead and sign off here, and have a great night. Goodbye.